Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a overview and first impressions of the Devinah Black Friday launch. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep on watching. Before I get into that though, if you're new here, please remember to hit that subscribe button and let's hop into the video. Alright, so I'm really excited to be doing this video. One, being back in the groove of things with YouTube, and two, filming an indie makeup related video, and really three, talking about one of my favorite indie brands, Devinah Cosmetics. Devinah, I think it was the first indie brand I ever bought from, and I am a collector of all of their special shadows. I have, now that the Black Friday sale's over, I have all of their special single shadows, and I'm really excited about it. But today I'm going to be focusing on the launches that they released on Black Friday, and I think personally it was a really exciting launch. So first, I think the biggest thing is the release of their curated, like, first ever palette, really, and this is the Phantasia palette. So this is what it looks like. It is a 9-pan palette. On the back it says Devinah Cosmetics, and then this is the inside. There's no mirror, it is just a holographic 9-pan palette. And it's got the little wells where you can pop the shadows out and rearrange them as you want. These shadows come separately, and then you put them into the palette. So they're all labeled on the back, which I love. The one thing, you guys know, I also love the brand Lethal Cosmetics. And when you buy a pre-made palette from them, they typically don't have the name of the shadow on the back. So I really like that the names are on the back. And I just organized it with how they launched the palette, just to keep it easy for me. But you can rearrange these however you want. They also released their eye bases. So you have the Prelusion eye base and primer, and the Specular Sparkle and Shimmer glue base. And the one thing I noticed when I first got these is how large they are. Now the tip is not, there's not really any product in here. It's just kind of like a decorative tip. It's a much smaller tip when you take out the packaging. But you get 15 milliliters in each of these, and I wanted to show for perspective, this is the About Face eyeshadow primer. This has 12 milliliters, where this has 15 milliliters. And then this is the NYX glitter primer. Mine does not have the label on it, but I believe I looked it up and this is 10 milliliters, again, compared to 15 milliliters. So yeah, I was very, I didn't expect them to be this large. I mean, I guess I could have probably looked up the milliliters online, but I wasn't expecting it. One thing I wanted to note was on the, which one is this? On the glitter and shimmer base, this one does contain carmine, so it is not vegan. So I just wanted to note that because I wasn't expecting it to be in there. I typically, I don't buy carmine-free makeup products. It's not something I typically look for, but I did want to note it if you are vegan. The glitter primer does have carmine in the ingredients list. And finally, we have their eye brushes. This comes in a set, and these are really nice. I've used them so far. They're very lightweight. I actually prefer a more weighted brush. These are a little bit lightweight for me, but they are nice. They are good quality, and they did a good job doing what they needed to do. They have black bristles, and what I really liked about these is just like how tiny and detailed most of them are. So you've got really tiny brushes if you have hooded eyelids or smaller eyelids, like this one. Look how tiny that is. It is really nice. So far I am enjoying these. So those are kind of my thoughts on the eye brushes. I've only used them once, so I don't have like a ton to say, but so far I've had a good experience with them. So far my first impression thoughts on the eye base and the glitter primer. So far I am liking it. I was able to apply my shimmer shadow today. Looks really nice. I've only been wearing it for maybe 45 minutes. The eye base I like as well. It has a little bit of a tint to it, but it pretty much blends out into a clear finish. I can't really think of what this reminds me of. It's not quite like the Milani eyeshadow primer, which is typically what I buy. Right now I'm using the About Face eyeshadow primer, and this also reminds me of the Milani. This is a little bit different, but I have liked it so far. I've only used it once, but my eyeshadows applied nice and vibrant, and it wasn't patchy. So yeah, I'm happy with these as well. Those are just my first impression thoughts. And then really the biggest part of this video is going to be the Phantasia palette. And so far I am enjoying it. This is my third eye look of the day. The other two were incomplete. The first one, I didn't like the eyeshadow shape I created, so I took it off. And then one thing to note about these shadows is there is a lot of fallout. I had done my base before my second look, and I just wiped everything off because I just had a dark line of shadow on my upper cheekbones. So I just took everything off and restarted and ended up doing this look, which has stuck. So here is the eyeshadow palette. You get 4 mattes and 5 shimmers. They are really, really beautiful. The shimmers I have been really impressed with so far, doing the swatches as well as applying it on my eye. I'm really happy with them. I would say these are not really super shifty shadows, but they have like that really piecey, sparkly finish to them that is really, really beautiful. And yeah, so far I am enjoying it. I think the only critique I have of this is the matte. I am just struggling a little bit with pairing the mattes with the different shadows in here, like especially the peachy shade. I wish I had like one other shade that was a little bit deeper to pair with this. But I do enjoy Devinah's mattes. They are pretty pigmented and they have a lot of fallout because they're pretty powdery. So that was one just thing to note is I should have known better and not done my base beforehand when I did that first look that you're not seeing. But yeah, I think, you know, this is a more cool tone matte. This is a more gray purple, and then this is a warmer purple. That's what I have in the crease today. And so there's a nice range. I guess you are always limited a little bit with a 9-pan palette. So I probably going forward will be reaching into other mattes as well to pair with this. But so far I am enjoying my experience with this palette. So now with all my first impression thoughts out of the way, I am going to be doing swatches of the palette, and then I will go into some comparison swatches, and then finally I will show you this eye look that I created and we will wrap up the video.
Alright, so starting out from left to right, we have Estrella, Frostbane, Magnus, Ember Rain, Starborn, Firegaze, Lucius, Stormrider, and Cassius. And then for comparisons, we're going to go right to left this time. And we have Cassius, and then Kaya from Devinah, Estrella, and then Zarina from Devinah. And then we have Frostbane, Luxie Ube, and Devinah Nokomis. Here we have Stormrider, Cleona Quest, and Lethal Twilight. And then we have Devinah Starborn, Devinah Half Sea Fog, and Cleona Ripple. This is looking at just Ember Rain compared with Devinah Frozen Wave, Devinah Mystic Moon Pie, Cleona Carving, and Cleona Opulent. Deandra from Devinah compared Ember Rain to a cousin of Mystic Moon Pie, and I can definitely see that comparison here. And now this is looking at Firegaze. So we've got Firegaze, Glaminatrix Cherry Blossom, Glam Shop Turbo Cotton Candy, Devinah Luna Storm, Devinah Electra, and Lethal Mantis. You can see my arm is becoming like a Twilight vampire at this point in the swatches. Alright, so I am just starting out with Devinah's new eyeshadow base. I just applied it on a flat brush and just put it all over my eyelids. As you can see, it has a slight tint when you squeeze it out of the tube, but it pretty much spreads out to a clear finish. And then I start going in with the matte shade Lucius, however you want to pronounce it. I start going into my crease and kind of doing a rounded outer corner for this look. So I am just continually going back into the shade and building it up and blending it out. And now I'm just taking a clean, fluffy brush. This is not one of Devinah's new brushes. This is just a Sigma brush. And I am just blending out the edges so they look a little bit more feathered. And then I go in with the shade Magnus from the palette. It's a little bit more cool toned, and I am packing that on the outer V. And then I will go in and kind of blend it together with the Lucius shade. And now I'm going in with the glitter primer and applying that all over my lid. And now I'm taking the packer brush from the Devinah brush set and I am applying Ember Rain all over the lid. This is a really, really beautiful shade. It definitely reminds me of Mystic Moon Pie, and it is a great, kind of more neutral shade. And it's kind of like a chameleon. Like in some lights it looks more purple, mauve, and in other lights it has a much more warm base to it. So it's a really nice shade that I think you'd like even if you don't like super colorful looks. And now I am just taking Frostbane and applying that to my inner corner. This one is also really, really beautiful. And then I'm just taking a little bit of Lucius and I am applying that to my lower lash line, being really careful to not have any fallout because these shades definitely have the fallout. Then I took a little bit of Ember Rain on the brush and I applied it kind of on the lower lash line, and this is the finished look. I really, really like how this came out. I'm super happy with it.
Alright, so that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you picked up this launch down below, or if you're interested in picking anything up in the future. I would love to know. I've had a really great experience historically with their shadows, and this launch is no exception. The mattes are really nice and blendable, and the shimmers are just beautiful and stunning. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!